Dear friends, today we will have small briefing on preventive vigilance. First of all, we should know what is vigilance. Vigilance is nothing but it is watchfulness or to take some caution, that is circumspection. The Central Vigilance Commission was set up by the Government of India in February 1964. It is to advise and guide the central government agencies in the field of vigilance. There are three types of vigilances. One is punitive vigilance, second one is detective vigilance, third one is preventive vigilance. Let us have a small briefing on these three things. First one is punitive vigilance. What is punitive vigilance? Let us have a small brief. This punitive vigilance is nothing but the caution exercised after happening of a situation or conclusion of transaction. The purpose is to punish the faulty. So this is punitive vigilance. Second one is detective vigilance. Detective vigilance, everybody knows detective. So, in this detective vigilance, the caution exercised after happening of a transaction or situation to investigate and find out irregularities, if any, for necessary action. So, this is called as detective vigilance. So, everybody knows how the detectives will investigate all these things. So, this is called as detective vigilance. So, the punitive vigilance as well as detective vigilance will be done after transaction has happened. Now, third one is most important one is preventive vigilance. So, what is preventive vigilance? The caution exercised so as to take all preventive measures well before happening of a fraud or irregularity. So this is called as preventive vigilance. The preventive vigilance relates to the systems and procedures put in use. Okay. One more thing, the preventive vigilance also to educate at all levels of the organization for constant state of alertness to avoid irregularities. This is very most important one. So to avoid irregularities, preventive vigilance is must. People will ask, why we will have a preventive vigilance? One is to enjoy faith and confidence of public. In any organization, if you want to have a faith and confidence of public, the preventive vigilance should be there. And the organization should be safe and sound because of the preventive vigilance. And the third one is the accounting principles, policy should be framed so as to minimize the fraud. Before going to the details of the preventive vigilance, let us know how the frauds are committed. One is by the outsiders, that is intentional and well planned. Second one is employees, either intentional or sometimes accidental also the fraud will happen. And third one is outsider in collusion with the employee. This is very, very dangerous. Friends, let us see the vicious cycle. Here, first of all, a customer will be there. Then, in any organization, customer will be there, and staff member will be there. In between, there is a barrier. Please see it. Thereafter, the customer slowly approaches the staff member, and the customer and the staff member will have a friendship. Then, one fine morning, the customer will engulf the staff member, and so this will lead to some misappropriation or a route for occurring fraud. Let us see small quotations. Mahatma Gandhi has said, on this earth there is enough for everyone's need, but not for their greed. Just you can understand, very beautiful meaning you can derive. Then Alexander Pope also told, honest man is the noblest work of God. So my friends, there is no substitute to honesty. Let us see the effects of fraud. One is major drain on profitability. That means because of the fraud, the organization has to make some provisions from their profit only. So their profit will be reduced. Second one is attack on systems and procedures. This is very, very most important. And then threat to public confidence. Once the public lose the confidence in any organization because of the fraud, entire business will be come down. So another thing is adverse publicity to the organization because of the fraud. So please ensure that there should not be any frauds occurring in any organization. Let us see what are the major areas of occurring of frauds in banks. Let us see. For example, I am telling you. Here, major areas in banks are deposit accounts, loan accounts, cash department, clearing, security forms, remittances, inter-office accounts, lockers. So, in the deposit accounts, you have to take necessary KYC guidelines, address proof, verification of the customer, everything you have to do. And in the loan accounts, while creating equitable mortgage, you have to verify the title deeds and all these things, and also verify the borrower's genuineness and business, follow up, supervision, all these things you have to do. Then in cash department, you have to verify the notes, currency notes, all these things with ultraviolet lamp, and the security forms should be delivered to the customer only, and ATM cards and pins to be delivered to the customers only. Actions also, inter-office accounts, where there is every possibility of fraud occurring if preventive vigilance is not done. Okay, so for all these things, we require preventive vigilance to avert the fraud, to stop the frauds. But we should not share our password with anyone, and we have to change our password regularly, and we should not use obvious password, and we should not write down the passwords anywhere. Give proper user ID levels to all staff members. Okay, all these things we require while operating with the passwords. Password is very most important in the computerized environment. Let us have what is cybercrime? Any criminal activity that uses a computer either as an instrumentality, target, or a means for perpetuating, that is enabling further crimes, comes within the ambit of domain of cybercrime. And manner of committing cybercrime is unauthorized access to computer systems or networking or hacking, and theft of information contained in the electronic form. So that's why, and sometimes they will introduce viruses also. The virus will be introduced through internet, intranet, pen drives, mails, etc. So whenever we are operating in the computer system, we should not open the unauthorized mails. It is not related to you, don't open it. And don't use pen drives. And sometimes don't use the internet while doing the core banking transactions. There is every possibility of the occurring of cybercrime. Whistleblowing. What is whistleblowing? Everyone associated with the organization is required to keep a vigilant eye on the affairs giving rise to suspicion. This is very important. And this any such unfair means at any of the officers must be brought to the notice of to the appropriate authority. And here please note it, no harm is to be made to the whistleblower, and necessary protection will be provided to him. One more important thing is, in the branch level or regional office level or head office level, there should be a preventive vigilance committees, and the preventive vigilance committees will be formulated by the branch manager or regional manager or general manager, whoever it may be, head of the institution, and the committee will meet at a periodical intervals on a monthly basis and discuss, review various matters relating to preventive vigilance. We all observe KYC compliance and fraud prevention day on 1st August of every year. And here on the day, the branch head our organization head will read the message and they will take the promise from all the staff members that they will observe preventive vigilance and also KYC compliance. So we have to value our own reputation. We having a good company, it is best. So please see which apple would you choose. If you take a B, there is no risk. But if you want to take A, there is a risk. But we have to take certain times risk. Risk taking with safeguards. This girl want to drive the cycle, want to learn the cycle without falling. So she put supporting wheels there and she is enjoying the bicycle riding and bicycle learning. Okay. So this type of safeguards we have to take while doing any operations in any organization. In nutshell, I want to give a preventive vigilance steps and as well as risk taking with safeguards in any organization.